Welcome, everybody, to Friday night MLB Pre-Lock Live. This is Pete Cole here for your Fielder's Choice. I got a special guest tonight, Corey Hammonds, going to be my co-host. Corey, most of you guys know he's been a long time actually member of your Fielder's Choice, going back to the Daily Fantasy Solutions days. Former pitcher in the Pirates and Tigers organization. What's up, Corey? Nice to have you. What's going on?
Very good.
We're here.
It's good, it's really cool to have Corey here because we can maybe get some views. Any weird stuff he sees today. We and him were just talking about some BVPs that were going on. Actually, I didn't even look at much BVP today, so he's going to take you through that. I'm going to go to GVP. We're going to go through mainly cash, try to build a cash lineup, go through the popular plays, and pretty much see if we agree with them or not, and take it from there. So it's going to be laid back, nothing crazy. Starting out with weather today, I don't see any weather. Philly Atlanta game looks like there's going to be some rain early. I saw late afternoon, early evening. If anybody's in the Atlanta area, but that they don't anticipate any problems. Beside that, it's all good to go, which is good. Vegas, I just actually updated Vegas right now. We have the Angels are the highest implied at 5.9. And that's because, remember, the Angels and Blue Jays are playing in the Dunedin this weekend. They're not playing in Toronto. They can't play games in Canada. They're playing Dunedin, which is pretty cool because it's a minor league park, spring training park. They use that humidor for the balls. It's actually 5 minutes from Dunedin, and it's warmer than hell down here. It's already in the mid-80s, so the ball's going to travel. And we got two pitchers going tonight. They're going to let the ball travel, like Haney, who's a strikeout pitcher, but he's going to give up some fly balls. And Steven Matz actually isn't going with the Blue Jays. They got the kid, was it TJ Zook or whatever his name is. So we'll get to that in a second. So Angels and Cleveland are their top two. Cleveland going against Detroit. Guess who's pitching for Detroit? Julio Gascan-Terran's going, who actually had a pretty good opening day. And then we got the Angels, Blue Jays, Padres, Astros, and the last team in the fives is Cincinnati, who I'm really high on. So let's go on to pitching. Actually, we got our pitcher here with us today, Corey, so he may be able to give us some insight. Looking at ownership, right now, my SP1 is going to be Joe Musgrove, who's actually kind of all of a sudden, Musgrove was turned into an elite pitcher all of a sudden. I mean, he's now in a good team with San Diego. He's going against Texas. Now, in Texas, the roof is closed in Texas. So with the roof closed, that's going to upgrade Musgrove, correct?
It should. I mean, it's, listen, he's also on the Padres, who are, like, in my opinion, one of the best teams in baseball, so he's going to get run support, too. So, you got to look at the Padres winning. I mean, I think he's going to go 5 or more anyways, regardless. So he's definitely going to get that, better chance of getting a W. So I think the win is huge for him just because that's a couple extra points on DK. I don't think the Rangers offense is that elite right now either. I mean, he's had his, he's pretty successful. He's a big strikeout guy. He could strike out 10 tonight. I mean, so yeah, he's 100% my SP1 too. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
You're breaking up a little bit there. I'm hearing like every other, just like move your head or something. Yeah, it's like choppy.
All right.
Yeah, wherever you were, stay right there. I heard you. And looking at Musgrove, he's going against a Texas team, and they obviously built that roof because it's so hot there, 80s and 90s. And I'm looking at his stats from last year. That whole Texas team right now, ISOs, everybody is in the red beside Nate Lowe and Guzman. Musgrove had an XFIP last year of 3.22, which is elite, 33% K rate. He should mow right through this order. Lowe's pretty much the only, Lowe and Joey Gallo, of course, only two guys I really see that should give him any harm. So Musgrove should be SP1. You agree on that?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so our SP2, and I'm not sure we may disagree. If you look at ownership, we want to use a smart way to go. Looking cash. Right now, we got McCullers, Zach Plesac, and Wheeler. We're all like mid-20s ownership. Tyler Mahle, who actually was my probably second favorite, he's pitched. I still like him in Arizona, but they got that roof open now in Arizona, so the ball's going to fly more. Actually, Arizona's lineup just came out, which we can look at and go to offense. They just went through Coors, hardly hit the ball. I still like Molly, but man, I'm really interested in Charlie Morton for Atlanta, and I'm looking at going back to he's going against the Phillies. Phillies are not exactly a murderer's row. Morton has really turned into, to me, a major league pitcher. Last year, xFIP at 3.45, which like Musgrove is elite, over 25% K rate, and if he can get through the only lefties he's facing are Harper and Didi, who both put the ball in the air, and Hazley batting ninth. Real Mueller's got some decent reverse splits as a righty, but if he can get through Harper and Didi, I think he should. I mean, he should do fine. And actually, the Braves are actually favored this game, which I was surprised. I thought you were going to see Philadelphia favored, but the Braves are actually favored. So, do you agree with me or not? Or would you be going to someone like a McCullers or the other three who are all actually in good spots? To me, this is probably the most spread out DFS slate you've had so far this year, especially ownership. Yeah. I can't argue pretty much with any call. Those like top 5 or 6 players.
I mean, and Charlie Morton's a guy that could punch out 12, in 5 innings. I mean, he's got the stuff to do it. I mean, he's 100% experienced. I mean, he went back to the Braves. That's where he started his career at. So he's back where he came from. I mean, a retirement, if you will. But I mean, I think they're both in good spots. I mean, him and McCullers are also, I mean, I don't think the A's are very good right now. But, I think either one's a safe play. I mean, I like Morton. I think he'd also be like a GPP guy. Just if if you're off of him, you can play him on the other side of the ball. Yeah, I mean, he literally could punch out 12 guys tonight. I mean, and it would be a 6 inning, 12 Ks, 3 runs, quality start. So, either way is a safe play. I mean, I have McCullers in there right now just because he fits, but I could easily go down to Morton and add another bat. So, something I got to decide on.
That's another reason also I was looking at too is when you start looking at prices here on DraftKings, Morton is 7.9. You got a McCullers is 9.1, $1,200 more. Is he $1,200 more of a better pitcher tonight? Zach Plesac is 9.6. I'm not paying that much for Zach Plesac tonight against Detroit, who's actually been a pesky team. So I do like Tyler Mahle at 7.5. I think he's turned a good pitcher. Zach Wheeler, 8.8. Wheeler pitched really well in the opening day. He was on fire. If he pitches again like he did the first day, he got the highest score today. But remember, Atlanta's been cold. Atlanta often scares me. They could come alive any night. So I think Musgrove's are SP1. And then you got to make a decision on whether you want a McCullers, Morton, who I'm leaning toward mainly because of value. Ownership says McCullers, or any of the other guys are pretty much the same ownership, Zach Plesac or Zach Wheeler. And don't forget Tyler Mahle, who could come actually as the best one. Cincinnati's got a good young team all of a sudden. They got some good young pitchers. So GVPs, I guess. Anybody else here that you would throw in a GBP? Anybody value-wise? Maybe say you want to stack up the Cleveland or the Houston bats, like the Bregmans, Correas, Altuve. Anybody else you see in here we could possibly use in GPP? Andrew Heaney, maybe? Because we know Andrew Heaney's got the stick. He's got the shit. I mean, he's going to strike batters out, but he also gives up hard balls, too. So, I mean, just like the Jays are a hard swinging team, they could hit 6 home runs tonight, but they could also strike out 12 times. So, I kind of leave Heaney in some GPPs. I'm not a Heaney guy.
The hardest thing, too, is, I mean, I know you said they're down in Dunedin. I mean, I know it's a minor league park. That field's not that big. I mean, I've played there. I've pitched there. I mean, it's not the same field. I mean, you say it's there, but the ball can fly out of there in a heartbeat, too.
And there you go.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely a GPP dark side.
And that's why I think Ron the Jays bats today and the Angels bats, both of them, right? Because they're playing in a little bit of a bandbox there now.
Yeah, they're not playing in a real. That's not that. It's a nice field, but it's not a big field. The wind can blow out really easily. All right. I don't even know what to say. Like, I can switch over to my phone. Yeah. I'm just using my computer phone, so hold on.
You're good right there. Wherever you're sitting, you started good. But Just try to
not
unhook it.
moving
And
right
I'll
now.
try that. Just say something. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Right
We'll
now
let
or
you know.
no?
You're good now. If you break up again, just go to your phone. All right. So let's go to offense. Broken up. All right. Well, I'll continue to offense, and Corey will jump back on us with a second. Catcher. Catcher is a definite to me pay down spot. Blue Jays lineup just came out. That means I was interested in that lineup because I was interested in Alejandro Kirk, and Kirk is actually batting today. Kirk is batting eighth, righty going against Haney lefty. We all know Kirk last year had a couple of big games. I'm on Kirk. Ownership. I know Tucker Barnhart may be popular as a value. I mean, you can pretty much go any of these guys. I'm on Kirk. The big guys like the Travis Denard, JT Realmuto, they're in pitching matchups. I really don't want to touch any of those guys. Nobody else I really jumps out at me. So I would probably use Barnhart or Kirk. I'm going to go Kirk. Victor Caratini, I guess Caratini playing. Caratini, I like. I think he's just a little bit too expensive. But I can go to a Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Kirk. That's the one we had. We talked about that before too. You know, Kirk. I mean, he's going to save you some money as well, which is kind of
Definite.
important. So
Martin Maldonado going against the lefty Manea. He's at 3.9 GPP. So I think Caratini's GPP. Who did we before the show? We were talking about what's the other lineup that just came out? I saw somebody catching that caught my eye. I can't remember, but it's Kirk. Let's go Kirk and Cash and just move on. First
yeah.
base. Um, first base is loaded. I think. Who you like at first?
Well, I mean, we both talked about Ohante and Vlad. I mean, but I think you can fit one. I think we talked about putting Vlad at first. You know, you could put Ohante out in the outfield. I mean, I think Hosmer, he's pretty hot right now as well. But
Yep.
and Joey Votto's another one. I mean, we have him down, GPP type DraftKings, but that offense is pretty good. I mean, you're playing out in LA. Wind's blowing out. I mean, if the dome's open, I mean, the ball's going to fly. I mean, I'm definitely leaning Vlad right now just because we talked about the field they're playing on. That if you can get him and Ohante in the lineup, and even maybe fit in a Trout in the cash lineup too. I mean, that field's not going to hold those guys. I mean, that field's kind of like where Toronto played last year in Buffalo. I mean, that field, those fields aren't meant to be big league fields. The ball's going to carry there.
That's right. They played Toronto and Buffalo last year too. I forgot about that. So they're used to these crazy stadiums. And I said it's warmer than hell down here, and you got two fly ball pitchers. So I'm all over Vlad. Here's a name we forgot about: a catcher, Max Stassi. Stassi's made the lineup today, right? So Stassi, I guess if you have some money left over, I could see. Once again, we're talking about Dunedin. I can see Stassi, who's batting eighth, going to get. Remember, David Phillips is starting, and then TJ Zook is coming in. TJ Zook was actually, I believe, I think he was like a number one pick like 4 or 5 years ago, but he's kind of just toiled around. I don't know much about him, but we did watch the one game of spring training, which he looked really well against the Yankees. So, Stassi at 3K, not bad, but I would still go Kirk. So, sorry to jump around, but the first base, Hosmer is a good call if you're going to pay up. He was a player to week one. You mentioned earlier Gurriel, right? Gurriel is especially I think on FanDuel, Gurriel's in a good spot. Gurriel's hitting the ball this year.
Yeah, he's got some good. I mean, he's got some crazy splits too. I mean, that Astros lineup in general, that's a good stack for GPPs as well. But yeah, I mean, he's a pay down guy to save some money. I mean, I know we talked about Vlad. I mean, I really am all over that Blue Jays Angels game just because of where they're playing. I think it's going to be huge. But yeah, I mean, Gurriel's another guy you can look at first base as well. I'm trying to think who else I looked at, like Freddie Freeman. Looking at a GPP, that he's 17 for 35 with 6 extra base hits. He's got 13 walks against Wheeler in his career. I mean, it's
There you go.
crazy. I mean, that's a great GPP. Like maybe even like a one-off type thing. I mean, and it's Freddie Freeman. I mean, he's a veteran baseball player. I mean, he's been around the game for a long time. So 486 batting average isn't bad in 35 at bats. So looking at a GPP type of guy for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely leaning Vlad right now. I think at first base for cash.
Agree. Our cheat sheet, our YFC, your field choice cheat sheet, is also showing Otani giving the most ownership, 22%. Like we said, we can play that at first. We can play Otani in the outfield. We want to play both of them. Jared Walsh is showing a little bit, 13%, 16% on FanDuel. Walsh you can play in the outfield also. Put him in an Angel stack. I wrote that up actually in our GVP article today. Put Walsh in there. Anybody else I see? Good call on Freeman. Votto is cheap. Always a cash play. That's pretty much it. I think that's all we got for first.
Yep.
Saving up first base. Second base, I think, is going to be a tricky one. This is when before we were talking on the show, we were building, because I think I got at second base 3 guys. Well, now, maybe not. I'm a Jake Cronenworth guy. I'll play Jake Cronenworth every day at second base. He's got that. Jake Cronenworth he pounds righties. He's got that crazy Woban ISO since last year. Again, I think you got this kid Arihara pitching for Texas. Comes from the Japanese league. Not a strikeout guy. He's got control, but that's it. I could see this is where I could see San Diego going off. They get a little bit downgrade with the roof being closed, but still Cronenworth at 407 Woba, 274 ISO against righties last year, 50% hard contact. Give me Cronenworth all day, but Jose Altuve was pretty much even with him. And then you got Semien against Haney in Dunedin. Semien is one of the bats on Tampa Bay that we know has got the high fly ball rate, high hard contact. He's leading off. High Woba. He's a type of guy like a Semien. All these big righty bats. Semien, Bichette, Keogh, Vlad. I see Grichuk isn't playing. Some other kids playing today. But all these big righty bats for Toronto. You want too. So Semien, Cronenworth, Altuve. They're all about price the same. They're all about the same. I got one more name. One more name is this kid kid for Cincinnati, the second baseman, and he's cheap. If you want to upgrade somewhere else, this kid for Cincinnati, Jonathan India, batting 7th. I don't know much about him. Maybe you do. 3.5. I think he turns into a cash play. He's had a hit. He's had a hit every game this season. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be another one of those guys like how we were on Cronenworth early last year when nobody knows anything about him. Like, nobody knows anything about this guy. So, I mean, he's another guy that get on him before people figure out about him. I mean, Cronenworth obviously has become an elite player right away in his career, but, this guy, I mean, like you said, he's got a hit in every single game. I mean, I don't know much about him, just looking at him, briefly, but, I mean, right away, he's hitting 476. Yeah, he's 10 for 21 on the year with 10 RBIs. I mean, that's, it's elite stuff right off the bat, and they're playing in the field. The ball's going to fly out. I mean, he's low in the order for a cash guy, but at the same time, he's a pay down guy to pay up somewhere else. So, he's clearly getting 10 RBIs in the 7 hole is not going to hurt you. You don't see that in the 2 hole sometimes. So, yeah, he's definitely in play, 100%. Yeah, he's another guy. Like, if you want to really try to, stack your outfield bats, I mean, he's a easy guy to go down to and be able to pick up somebody else bigger.
I may just use him. 3.5 in DK, 3.0 on FanDuel. Here's a kid. He was 1 for 2, 3 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 2 for 3, 2 for 4. I remember talking last year, and it's a question for you from being an ex-player. Because obviously, as the season goes on, they develop a book on these guys, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty in India. I think if I remember right, India was a first round top 5 pick, but obviously there's not much out there in India, right? So, how much of a window do you have before you start seeing them pitching to India differently?
I mean, I think it's going to have to go through, he's going to have to face every team at least once. I mean, those guys aren't going to share their information. I mean, so there's going to be books on them. I mean, you're going to get live at bats to watch, but you still don't know what they're throwing and how they're throwing to him particularly.
Right.
But, he was a first rounder he's a Florida guy. He went to the University of Florida. So, he's definitely, like you say, like when a guy's hot, you stick with him for a little while, and then if he, falters out a little while down the road, you got him when he was hot. You know, we did that with Cronenworth last year. I mean, like we said it right away. Nobody knows
Yep.
anything about this guy. He literally like cash for us, you know, week after week, and everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" And he was cheap, and now he's a leadoff guy for one of the best offenses in
Yeah.
baseball.
We rode him for like 3 weeks straight.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I just slid him into my lineup at second base, and that just gave me like $2,000 more to play with, where it could get us to a Jose Ramirez. It could pump us up somewhere in the outfield. So I may end up going India. Right now, looking at the latest ownership from your feeler. No, I just deleted it. Your feeler's choice cheat sheet. Let me see here. It's looking like probably out. Oh, I got the early on. Altuve, DK, looks like Altuve and Semien about the same, close to 20%. FanDuel looks like Semien's edging out Altuve, and then we have Cesar Hernandez, also to me more of a GBP play, part of Cleveland stack. Hernandez too. So India or Altuve or Semien, you can't go wrong with these guys. India is a value play if you want to get up somewhere else. Maybe you want to upgrade a catcher too. Other ways to go. Anybody else looking at second base? And also, you're coming in loud and clear now too. So
Cool. Yeah. No, I think you hit everybody. I mean, obviously, like, you know, Hyesung Kim's another guy that we looked at. You know, KBO, he's playing in for Tatis right now. I think the KBO and the MLB is two totally different levels of baseball. So, gotta kind of see him play a little bit more before we can really jump on him for like a cash play. I mean, he could be a GPP guy for you, but there's way other
yep.
ways. So many other routes I think you could go right now rather than worrying about him. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I think I'm on everything you talked about. I mean, yeah, we had Altuve we were talking about before. I think that's a good one. I mean, India is a great play as well. Like you said, it gets you to Jose Ramirez, who's on fire right now. So you know, there's a couple different routes, which is kind of nice too. You know, so it's not going to be you know, trains of lineups like we have in a couple of these last couple nights. Have been a lot of like repetitive people. So you know, yeah, it gives you some options for sure.
Tyler Brown just asked, good question. What about Jurickson Profar, who's batting second against this Erhard guy from Japan, switch hitter? Last year against righties, low K rate, which is always good. 326 Wolba, which is mid level. Let me see. The last is 2019 Profar at 189 ISO, but better. That second though in that Padre order.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Profar a cash play, but yeah, I'd have no problem using GBPs, put them in part of stack.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean that lineup
So
can score.
GBP.
Yeah. I mean, they can score 10 runs a game, you know, easily. I mean, that lineup is that good, even with Tatis not being in the lineup. I mean, I think, you know, it's definitely a GPP guy. You know, he could be one of those, you know, like we say, like the one-offs or whatever. But anybody in that lineup, if he's going to get on base, he could score 2 times a night, you know, easily. He's steal a bag here and there. You know, he's kind of like a Tommy Pham kind of guy for them too. So, you know, as long as he's getting on base, he's definitely, you know, he's a run threat, scoring run threat. He could steal a bag for you. So, you know, and he's not going to come out for defense either, you know, because he's a pretty good defender for him.
I just noticed that Trent Grisham's back tonight too, leading off lefty versus righty, good spot. So Tyler GBP, third base. To me, the class. I'm not saying he's a must play, but he's pretty close to it. Probably one of the best spots of the slate, maybe beside Trout, is J Ram. If you're going to pay up, Jose Ramirez, he's seeing a ball. He started out. I mean, he's smoking this year, going against Turan. I mean, you can't ask. He's a switch hitter against righties, 241 ISO. I'm all onto Ramirez, but I have no problem dropping down to, and I may do it, but maybe I don't. I may not have to now if I go with India, as I really like Mike Moustakas today too at third base for the Reds. Now Moustakas is only a third baseman on DK, correct? I meant to look that up. I can only play him at third.
Yep.
Shit. Okay, so you got to make a decision on Ramirez or Moustakas. I wouldn't go. To me, Machado's a GBP play. Bregman, you got that short left field porch. Bregman's in play, but the way Ramirez is hitting against Turan, to me, it's either Ramirez or take Moose with that roof open in Arizona. What's your call while I see what the cheat sheets that count for ownership? Anybody you like?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Moose isn't getting ownership from what I'm seeing on cheat sheets, all Ramirez, but what do you like?
yeah, no, we talked about Moose before. I mean, I think obviously you got to make that decision between him and J Ram. I mean, if you go India, I think it gives you the option to go to J Ram. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do with the outfield too. You know, shortstop is kind of going to be one of those positions for me. Looking at that one, as we talked about a little bit too, that's kind of like you might be able to pay down a little bit if you want to, but then at third, at third base, I mean, I got Moose in there right now just because we talked about him earlier. I like that spot. Bregman's definitely, I think, a GPP guy. I mean, he's got 3 homers and a small little, couple at bats here and there. I mean, so he's got a chance to bop one out. And that place is going nuts. Houston went crazy last night. The fans are going crazy at that place. They had, I think, him, Correa, and Gurriel, him, and Altuve all had homers last night. So
that team's looking good right now.
Yeah, and they're facing, Mania did not look good as his first start. I mean, I think, he's given up 7 hits. I think it was 7 hits, 5 runs or whatever. So that all those righties against the Astros, I think that you could get easily GPP stacks. So stay away from them. But yeah, I'm on Moose. I think Moustakas is the right play for me.
I agree, especially the price because it gets you. I think he's the lead that position. If you want to be cash, you want to be chalky, you want to look at ownership. J Ram's the play. But I'm on the Moose. We didn't talk about Anthony Rendon, who I love. GBP play. I just know, and actually Devin just DM'd me, and I didn't even, it went over my head to look at the Toronto lineup.
Oh, shit. Yep.
Biggio dropped to 7th in the order. I didn't realize Grichuk is up to 2nd today. So to me, Biggio is a GBP play.
Mm-hmm.
Biggio is the only lefty beside Palacios. Jose Palacios, who's in the outfield, Biggio's the only lefty in that lineup today. I mean, is the only lefties. Man, Haney could be in for a long. I mean, we all know Haney's got that almost 30% K rate. But man, these Blue Jays hit the ball hard. They'll miss too. But I like this Blue Jay lineup. So I guess we agree on Moose. If you have the money, perfect world, you go with J Ram. That's pretty much it. There's nobody I really like that's popping out at me value-wise. Anybody else? I mean,
nothing really. I mean, yeah, you're looking
right?
at possibly too. I mean, you could look at a Rendon if you wanted, but I mean, I think I like Moose better, and his price is a little bit more appealing. 4,100 over 4,900 is pretty good. But yeah, Machado's definitely a GPP for me. I know he's high up on there, but he's not tearing the ball off, the cover off the ball right now. So I mean, when he's in one of those hot streaks and he's kind of got, when Tatis can come back and he's got some people behind him defending him a little bit, and Machado's the best hitter on that team right now. So he's going to get pitched completely different right now than he would be when you had Tatis behind him or in front of him.
Good point.
So,
yep.
And Hosmer, but Hosmer's a lefty. You can work around him and get to Machado if you have to. He's going to get pitched totally different. So, until that lineup solidifies itself around him again, it's going to be tough to play him and pay that much for him. That's way, 5,800 for Machado on DK that's a lot,
Yeah, that's dear.
It's less than
right
more than Ramirez, and Ramirez is absolutely crushing right now.
Now you go to FanDuel, Bregman's more than J Ram. So FanDuel, play J Ram. He's only 4-1. Myron Kidd just said Moose looking like a cash play. Yeah, I think is a cash play. I said you want to look at ownership chalky. He's not looking at it right now. We'll update the ownership one more time before lock. But in my opinion, yeah, Moustakas cash play. Shortstop. We do have. I'm assuming the cheat sheet is going to reveal it, and it does. I was all over 3 guys: Bichette, Correa, and Suarez. Just like the 3 second basemen, all in good plays. But we got Ahmad Rosario now leading off for Cleveland against Turan, jumping up that ownership chart's pretty good. So I'd have no problem right now going to Ahmed Rosario's 3.6 on DK. FanDuel, we got him at 2.2. I'm going to lock him in. You don't have to, but I like it 3.6. I mean, 3. Yeah, here's the thing. He's 3.6. Suarez is 4.4. That's only $800 more. Bichette's 4.7. Now you're talking $1,100 more. Is I mean, Suarez is a better hitter than Rosario. Yeah, we got Rosario leading off. Do you think that's enough of a discount to run Rosario over Suarez?
I mean, I like it if I'm looking at then my outfield can be, three Angels too. That fits Walsh in there too. For me personally, I can go Walsh, Almonte, and Trout if I get Rosario in there. I can't do it any other way. So, if we really like this Toronto, LA game that much, I mean, you could fit one, two, three, five parts of it, and that's on both sides of the lineup too. So, yeah, I mean, I like Rosario just in the
And
lead.
my
Like you said, Terry Julian. I mean, he's been a gas can for the last 2 years. I mean, he was good 4 years ago. Yeah,
he has. He had a good game. He was decent opening day, but that's an outlier. I don't think you're going to see that opening day again. How he did opening day. It
yeah,
wasn't even a great game, but he was still.
yeah. But if you don't have J Ram in your lineup and Rosario gets on and J Ram hits a homer, you're going to get the run scored anyways. So I mean, if you're looking at it that way, you can look at it two different ways.
Point.
So if you can't
Very good point.
J Ram,
Yep.
but you can get Rosario on, now he hits a double in the gap. You're going to get runs for. You're going to get points at a discounted price. You're going to get it at 3,600 for Rosario, and now all of a sudden that allows you to get Almonte's going to hit a home run tonight. I mean, if he's as long as he's healthy. I know he's a day to day, but the guy's going to crush a home run today. And Trout is on fire like he always is. He's an MVP. So I mean, yeah, I'm on Rosario just because, like you said, it fits. It allows you to get some more pieces in there that you couldn't have before. Right now we're like 3 games heavy, but that's okay.
Agree. So, and that's always. I mean, back in the day, I would never play 5 guys from a team. That was always a GPP. And then I even made a mistake yesterday. I've cashed every night in cash until last night, and I had a lineup, and then the last second I switched out because I thought I had too many of the Rockies D-backs game, and I pulled J-Ram from my lineup, and that cost my lineup. So you can't overthink this stuff, and that's a good way to think about Rosario. Get you a piece of J-Ram. So I think Rosario's a play. Can't go wrong with Suarez. Can't go wrong with Bo Bichette. Can't go on Correa. All those guys are the same.
Yep.
Like I said, the cheat sheet is telling us still Suarez, but Rosario sneaking up on him. Suarez and Fandu also. Going Alpha. And somebody Tyler about pro pars, so I do like that 3-2 when you go to the outfield. Looking at outfield, I think there's like 3 or 4 guys I like the 5K range. I like Trout. I like Nick Castellanos. I like Jordan Alvarez. How much is Ohtani? Ohtani's 4.6, so he's not considered 5K. You got to make a choice between Trout and Ohtani. Who are you taking?
For me, Trout, just because he's proven himself more.
I like Ohtani though tonight too.
Yeah, I mean, I just know he hasn't played since he had that play at the plate. So I mean, I think he's what does he have, like 3 games of like 18 DK points? I mean, he fell on his back. I think he's going to be okay, but he's not going to come out of the game. He's their DH. So, I mean, he's definitely going to get his at-bats. Trout's obviously going to play in there. I mean, it's hard to turn down Trout. I know we got a couple Angel fans. I mean, he's so good. I mean, he's literally, and he's either one of them's good. I mean, I have them both in my lineup right now, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think you take Trout just because you're not positive about Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
And Ohtani, well, I mean, Ohtani was on fire. No, Ohtani played last night. He was 1 for 5. So, but then he sat a couple games before that.
Yeah.
So we like Ohtani. I think Trout's a lock. I think you need either Trout or I think you anchor your lineup with either Trout or J-Ram. If you don't have Trout, I think you need J-Ram. But I'm going to go to Trout. I'm looking at Ohtani, but we keep forgetting about it, and for some reason, he's like, as the day goes on, he's getting less and less love. Is Eddie Rosario for Cleveland? Eddie Rosario, man, this dude. I mean, Teran should be nothing for Rosario. He crushes righties. I think he is actually better last year. Last year, 364 WOBA, but 287 ISO. The man, he crushes. I mean, problem is we're not sure how long we're going to see him see Teran in the game here. 609 xFIP. So, my big decision do I play Rosario and Otani, or possibly I had that money left over. I could even play maybe all three of them. I had Tyler Naquin locked in.
Mhm.
Mainly, Tyler Naquin's hitting well. I like this since I want pieces of the Cincinnati lineup. Where's Naquin's? Oh, he's batting sixth tonight though against Whitener. I mean, he's finally learning how to. He's playing regularly, learning how to hit righties. Jesse Winker leading off though. I like Jesse Winker also. What's Winker's 3.9 when Naquin is 3.2 though? There's a bunch of ways you can go if you want to go cheap. You got Tommy Pham 3.7. I like Josh Naylor if you want to go way down 2.5. He can get a hold of the ball. Love Winker. Now we got Grichuk batting second, 3.7. Maybe Grichuk's the way to go. Or I said we even got Jurickson Profar. Forgot he can play the outfield at 3.2 because he pieced that San Diego offense.
Mhm.
I don't know. I really think if I could get Trout, Otani, and Eddie Rosario, I think it's a pretty damn good outfield, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I have that in my lineup right now with $100 remaining. So I mean, if you
I
do
got
it,
700 remaining with.
yeah,
Is that running Morton or is that running somebody else?
that's running Morton.
All right.
Yeah,
So
if you
we're
get those guys, you got to have Morton in your lineup.
yeah, and Morton's going to get you that. Rosario is going to get you that. Vlad at first, Otani in the outfield, and Trout.
Mhm.
Now I'm not
Yep.
saying don't get me wrong. I don't want to be swaying people to play Morton rushed scored. I think it's a good play tonight. I think McCullers play sack against Detroit may be safer plays. I'm just saying I think Morton's a decent cash play. We've watched him up the last 2 years. 2 years now. I mean, look at Morton's last 2 years. He's got elite stuff the last 2 years. So I'm not
Yep.
afraid that it was bullshit. We saw him pitch for Tampa. He looked good. I don't know. I'm not of his fan club here, but he's one of my favorite pitchers. I remember in spring training, you were playing Morton, and I
Yeah.
was off, and I told, and Morton tripled me whatever I played. So, the guy's been a stud. In the outfield that we're missing, you like any BB stuff?
Who did I have out there? I looked at a couple things earlier today. I mean, Acuna's got a little bit of a slash. He's like 6 for 19, with 2 homers against Wheeler. We talked about Freddie Freeman. I mean, Harper. I mean, Harper's 6 for 10. I mean, it's a small sample. I mean, he's batting 600 though. I mean, against Charlie, but I like Morton in his spot right now. Like you kind of like, not that you talked him into him, but his price allows you to get so many other guys. And I mean, he had 5 strikeouts the other day. I mean, he could have 5 to 8 strikeouts tonight. That's all you need. You can give up 2 runs. I don't care. I mean, get your win, get your 8 strikeouts. He's gonna get you 20 points. I mean, and you're saving $2,200 on getting McCullers in there. So yeah, no, I like it. I mean, there's not too much else out there. I was looking a little bit. We talked about Bregman real quick, just like looking at a couple of guys. Cesar Hernandez actually is another like kind of a GPP guy. He's 9 for 42 against Tyran, but 6 extra base hits, 4 homers, 6 RBIs. So those are a couple of those other guys you can look at for the BVP stuff. I mean, I'm not really into that stuff. Just kind of looking at some of the numbers are crazy.
Right. No, I agree with you.
But,
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. I mean, you could throw it out there. I mean, and then you look at the reverses of Wheeler. I mean, Wheeler's got some really good numbers against some other guys too. So I definitely think like a Bryce Harper is definitely a one-off against a Morton if you're going GPP. And then the other way, you can look at it. There's a couple Braves guys that are really good against Wheeler that you can look at GPP like a little mini stack. But yeah, I like all the stacks you put on in the mismatches as well. They're all there. Not a huge GPP guy, but I definitely dabble in it a little bit here and there. But yeah, I think everything we touched on today definitely gives you some options.
And I was also messing with my lineup. I could also go up to Alvarez too with the lineup I was making with like Alvarez, as I like Alvarez tonight too. Alvarez, Trout, Otani. One more question. Why Morton over Molly? I earlier I liked Molly, but remember they're playing Arizona. The roof is open in Arizona. You might see a couple more runs. And Arizona's a pesky team. Eric just answered that for me. Exactly what I said. Yep, and Ackman's hot. Like the Angel stack. I agree with the Suarez bat needs to heat up a little bit. Totally agree. I like that Myron Kidd said gut play Jose Iglesias. I like that call. I actually wrote Iglesias up yesterday in the Showdown article, and I think he had 2 hits. Iglesias is a professional hitter. He's been around forever. He knows how to hit. I like Jose Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play him any day. If I need him as a cash play, he can get a knock for you. I think that's pretty much it. We have 6:50. Yeah, we have. What time is lock? 7:07 tonight.
Yep.
So we got a few minutes. Prize Picks. If you fought Prize Picks, we have a promo code YFC. If you're not a member, try it out. Actually, I just started playing Prize Picks. I mean, we've been getting the MLBs right. Vlad at 7.5, take the over. Ohtani 7.5 in Dunedin, take that freaking over. Who else we got?
I can't play it, so I don't even look at it.
There's Tyler Naquin 7 over. It's probably Cole Calhoun's back. Nice to see. I like Cole Calhoun. I'd probably take those 3 overs in Dunedin. We're gonna see that ball flying tonight, especially with these 2 scrubs pitching. And so, don't get me wrong about Haney. Haney's gonna get strikeouts, but he's also. This is why the Jays are a GPP stack. The Jays could win you a GPP. They could hit 4 or 5 homers. I mean, that lineup is stacked tonight. It's stacked against Haney, but they also can strike out 7 straight times. So that's my problem. They don't want to get too cocky with Toronto and play too many of them either because they're swingers. But that lineup's already except for Biggio and his Palacios in the outfield. And that's it. Any other questions before we lock out of here? All right, guys. I think we are good. Who is Corey? Your home run call of the day.
Either I'm gonna go Trout.
I like Alvarez. Alvarez for Houston. I tried to do a sneaky play article. I've been struggling with some of the sneaky plays right now. It's too early in the season right now. So I can't remember. I can't remember who I wrote now, but it was I like this India kid. Don't sleep on this India kid today. He may end up in my main lineup. With the $1,800, I thought maybe I could get up to one of these guys, but I can't. So I think we're good to go. Any other questions before we lock out of here? All right, guys. Good luck. Actually, tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, we will be on. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We'll see you guys there. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Peace out.